As you know, Drake May was just selected in the first round by the New England Patriots.
Yeah, he was.
We did not have an expert on at the time of the draft. So we needed to get someone who had an incredible knowledge of the New England Patriots in here to tell us about Drake May's fit in New England. Also, Shea Sprague's going to talk about baseball.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll get to that eventually.
But from what we hear, he is a Patriots expert. So, Shea, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Diamond Hill's playing really well. Why is Carolina playing so well right now?
I think right now we're just clicking on all cylinders. I think the pitching has come a long way, and we're starting to get like real consistent outings from guys just all across the board. And I mean, obviously the offense is the offense. They're legit. They got some real firepower, and they've just been doing it on all cylinders recently. So the offense is really fun to watch. I mean, as well as the pitching. But right now we're just in a good spot. You got to keep getting better every day, and we'll figure it out.
How does that, as a pitcher, I mean, obviously you're going out there and you're trying to throw a shutout and complete game, but when you know that you got an offense that can give you 6, 7, 8 runs pretty consistently, how does that change what you're doing, if it does change what you're doing?
I don't really think it changes what I'm doing personally, just because I'm going out there just trying to throw them as many zeros as I can. But on the flip side of that, there is times where you're playing and you go out, throw up 2 zeros. Next time you go out, next thing you know, you have a 7-run lead.
Right.
So I think when you're pitching with a 7-run lead, obviously it's just going at guys, which our offense can do with the drop of a hat. But I'm just trying to get zero, so I don't think it changes much. But it's definitely nice to have the offense that we have.
You had to throw against this offense in scrimmages all throughout the fall and then January and first part of February. From a pitcher's perspective, what did you notice about just this lineup of hitters that makes it tough to pitch against?
Yeah, in January they got me pretty good. They saw myself really well in January, but I think the biggest thing with our offense is it's just really tough to get fastballs by them. Yeah, I mean, you have to sequence it basically perfectly to sneak a fastball by Vance, Casey, Parks. I know Alberto hit probably 3 or 4 moonshots off me in January because if you leave that fastball anywhere, any of them are going to take you deep. So I think it's such a dynamic offense. You have the speed everywhere. So if you get a guy like D'Onofrio, Vance, Madera on, and the next thing you know, Luke Stevenson's hitting, it's kind of you just gotta. They come at you a lot of different angles. So I mean, it's just so fun to watch. I love it.
All right, let's take a step back for a second. So Massachusetts native, played at Elon, first year at Carolina. Just take us through a little bit of how you ended up here, why Carolina was the right move for you, and why this was your choice.
Yeah, so I played at Elon the past 2 years, and over the summer up in the Cape Cod League, I decided to enter the transfer portal. And it was funny. I think Coach Gaines was probably one of like the first 5 coaches to reach out to me. But when I entered the portal, I hadn't really considered that like the coaches were going to come watch me pitch. I thought it was kind of just like
they text you or something.
Yeah, no, they'll text you and like just me pitching and Elon was going to do it. And then Coach Gaines was like, all right, like I'm going to be on like the next flight up tomorrow to come watch you throw. And then I was like, oh man, I didn't even like think about that. So I pitched pretty well. Coach Gaines was there to watch me throw. That outing, the first pitch I threw, Casey Cook hit a ball right back at me that almost took me out in the ribs. But I got out of the way. And then after that, I had a call with Coach Forbes. And one thing I really appreciated about Coach Forbes that like kind of got me really interested was when he called me, he was like, all right, well, we have to get you down here on a visit because I got to meet you first before I give you an offer or anything like that. And a lot of the schools in the portal just kind of like, they're on you, they're trying to rush you and all that. So I just really appreciate the fact that he was like, all right, like I have to meet this guy, know what he's all about, and then go from there. So I ended up here. I fell in love with it on my visit, and I committed in Coach Forbes' office when I came down.
Coach Gaines said one of the things, he said he has the most fun in his job calling the game when you're pitching because he said he feels like he can call any pitch anytime. How did you get comfortable with a deep enough arsenal of pitches to be able to be that kind of pitcher?
Yeah, I think it's just in practice throwing really what you're trying to work on, and you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So it's like you got runners on second, third, you got to throw a 2-0 changeup. Like you have to practice that. So when you throw it, you have confidence in the game to get that guy out and just go right at him with it. But I mean, I'll give credit to Coach Gaines, Coach Howell. My slider has come such a long way from Elon. Like, I would never really throw it even in advantage counts, but now we're throwing it 2-1 to a lefty, 1-2 to a righty, so it's come a long way.
Go ahead.
What have you found does translate from the way you were pitching at Elon to the ACC level, and what have you found maybe does not translate as well?
Right. I mean, at the ACC level, you just have to keep making pitches, like any count, like even 3-0. Like I'd say at Elon, like a lot of the lineups, they're just trying to get guys on base. So 3-0, you're just throwing it right down the middle, just kind of you're getting that free strike back in a way. But here, like Coach Gaines will go over the scouting report, and probably 50% of the guys are free swingers 3-0. So you don't even get a free pitch off to get back in the count. And I think what works for me from Elon is kind of just like having the mentality just going right at guys. Just that translates, I think, anywhere you go, in trusting your stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a big jump from in CA lineup to ACC lineup, depth-wise, ability, all that.
So there have been a couple of key injuries on the pitching staff this year for Carolina. How have you seen this staff kind of continue to develop and manage some key losses, but still be able to be as successful as you guys have been?
I think it's just a lot of guys stepping up, taking on different roles. I mean, having Jake and Folger out is tough because they're two incredible pitchers. They're so talented. They're great teammates. They do all the right things. They're still supporting us there every day. But then you just have guys that need to step up. Like Aiden Hauk, for example. He's gone from reliever to a starter. I know last week he started against Campbell, started against Sunday. We got 2 wins.
Yeah.
Guys like Ben Peterson started off the year in the rotation, kind of fell out of the rotation a little bit, got in the game, and now he's back. I mean, yesterday went, I think, 3 1/3, 8 strikeouts, just electric stuff. So I think there's just a bunch of different guys that, even DeCaro, I mean, stepped up from midweek guy to start, and now he's our ace. So, and he's special. But I think it just goes a long way, just everyone accepting whatever role they need to do in order for us to win.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, as you just said, are young guys. You're a new guy, but you're an old guy.
Right.
DeCaro just got his driver's license like a day and a half ago.
I know, seriously.
What's been your leadership role in trying to help some of the younger guys just get adjusted to this level?
Honestly, I think a lot of them are so mature that they have this goal and this vision that they're pretty locked in. But like with Jason, I know me and him joke about it all the time. Like, you don't want to ride the roller coaster. Like, you go 7 shutout innings, and then you go 2 innings, give up 6. Like, you can't just keep going up and down. You just got to stay level-headed. But yeah, I mean, the entire freshman class in the fall when I was here, I was like, oh, wow, like this is a different animal. Like, these young kids are insane. And it's been a lot of fun to watch them grow and really come into their own. I mean, they're just so impressive, and they're a pretty good group when it comes to just like managing everything, lifestyle, the transition to college. So yeah, it's really fun to watch.
Feel like you would have a good pickoff move. Is that an accurate statement?
From time to time. From time to time.
What's the key there?
I think it's just mimicking your mechanics and varying your timing, and then if you get your looks off to the guy on first base, you can kind of throw him off. So
I was listening I was driving around this weekend, and I think you threw over like 4 straight times.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you ever, does it get a little, because if you were doing that on the road, it'd be like you'd have started hearing it, right?
Right.
Do you ever get a little nervous when you're throwing over there a bunch?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm always picking to try and get the guy out.
Yeah.
And Coach Gaines will tell us when to pick, and then we can pick on our own. So I like it because it's just a chance to get a free out.
Yeah.
This team's been incredible at home. Why are you guys so good at Boshemer?
I just think we're very comfortable there. I mean, we have really good routine, showing up on game days, getting our meal in, stretching, getting with Miss Terry Joe. Yeah, I've never been a part of anything like this where we just, not automatic, but we're just really good at home. But I think it just comes down to being comfortable.
Is Terry Joe the meanest person in the United States?
I think you could not be further from the truth. She is the best. She's the sweetest.
All right. Do you know Remington?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Remington?
I love Remington. A lot of fun to be around.
Okay. Honest question. How old is Remington? Do you know? This is a conversation Adam and I have had before. Is this still the first Remington?
This is the first
So
Remington.
he's still Remington 1?
Yes, it
okay.
is.
That's good to know.
Funny you say that. Andrew Miller asked that yesterday in the training room when he was walking around the Bosch. I think
Andrew Miller
Remington's
came back and
11.
got his degree this weekend.
Yeah, he
know
did.
that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He was at our game yesterday.
Oh, that's really cool.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so you think Remington is 11,
I think so.
but still very spry
Yeah, he's
Oh,
in
yeah.
great shape.
Oh, yeah.
and seems very mentally sharp from what I
Oh,
can tell.
sharp as a
mentally
tack.
sharper than me.
Yeah. It's incredible what Remington can do.
Attaboy, Remington. All right, what do you like outside of baseball? Tell us a little bit about when you're not on the diamond. What do you like?
Like you kind of hinted at earlier, I like Boston sports. Like right now, we're kind of busy with the Celtics.
You're right in the middle of it right
yeah,
now.
the thick of it with the Celtics and the Bruins going on. Like we were talking about earlier too, I love golf.
Ooh.
I like golfing a lot. Go out with the teammates. But other than that, just chilling.
All right, give us your Drake to the Patriots thoughts.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I was the biggest supporter of it too. After watching him play in the fall, I love it. We need to get some weapons around him, I think.
Yeah, can he start this first year? Should he start or should he sit a year?
I don't know. I kind of like the Mahomes route of sitting the first year and like getting used to the speed and all that, and letting kind of everyone else around him develop, and then throwing him into the fire. But
Because Brissett's there, right?
yeah, he is.
Okay, see, that's a viable.
He's a veteran too.
Yeah,
He's played in the
it's a viable
system.
1-year guy.
Right, 100%. But I think him, Jalen Polk, Javon Coleman from UCF. I think that offense in a couple years is gonna be scary.
Like that.
Patriots corner.
Yeah.
Boston sports fans are a little different, I think. Like it's just more hardcore there. Celtics, Bruins, Patriots. Like no one's gonna live in Boston and like cheer for the Bulls or something.
Right.
Like if you're from Boston, you are Boston.
Definitely.
Why is that?
I don't know, to be honest. I think there's just a great culture in the city, a lot of blue-collar people that rally around the sports teams, and I think we've been spoiled a little bit with, like, the stars of our teams. Like, if you look at the Red Sox, like Pedroia, David Ortiz, like, they kind of embody what Boston's about. And if you look at the Bruins the other night, I think they were losing, like, 7-2 to the Panthers, and the Panthers eliminated us last year. But the Bruins were getting it handed to them, and the Bruins are fighting them the entire time. And I think that's...
Shane's getting a little worked up just like thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I need the Bruins to mount the comeback here over the Panthers. Can't be 2 years in a row, especially after last year's meltdown. But I don't know. I think a lot of the teams kind of just take on the identity of the city, and it's really fun to watch.
Have you ever seen Good Will Hunting?
I have.
Do any of those characters look familiar to you? Like, are you like, I know a guy like that?
I'm sure if I slowed it down, I'd know one person in that movie, but no, I can't say I know any of them.
Not a strong Boston accent from you, though. I don't.
No, I don't have them. My parents do. My
Really?
parents grew up in the city, and they have the thickest Boston accents ever.
How did you avoid it if your parents had? I mean, I'm not acting like it's a bad thing.
Yeah,
but how do
well, in like, I live like 25 minutes outside the city.
Sure.
So like, you really only have like a real thick Boston accent if you live in the city. So like, growing up in like the suburbs of Boston, it's like, you don't really develop it as much, I guess.
Right.
Mike's Pastry or that other one that's across the street?
I like Mike's Pastry after going to the Garden.
Okay.
Celtics or Bruins game.
What's that other one that's across the street that's pretty good?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
But Mike's is like, that's the go-to. That's the
Oh,
staple.
that's like the staple, like the box. You take a picture of the box and
Right.
that whole deal.
Okay, if the Celtics don't win, is it like a major
Oh,
collapse?
yeah.
They're the best team, right?
Yeah, well, we saw it with the Bruins last year. They were the best regular season team in hockey history, but if the Celtics don't win, I don't know. It's
I may be done with this.
I like how the accent came out a little bit
Yeah.
in that part.
It's gonna be a head scratcher. I don't know what the next move is because we already got rid of Rob Williams, Marcus Smart, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Porzingis getting hurt didn't help.
Yeah, certainly not. But I think we should be able to overcome that injury.
All right.
I'm concerned about Shea having to balance the NCAA tournament
Yeah,
with the
that's
NBA
right. He'll be
playoffs.
in between innings.
Yeah.
Tar Heels will be batting. He'll be like checking his phone.
We
No,
don't need a Celtics
Come on,
game to
Tatum.
coincide with like a super regional game.
Right. 100%. I'll be double sweating out there.
it's a long season.
Oh, yeah, it is.
How do you keep your body? I mean,
It goes by quick, though.
really.
Oh, yeah. You're just playing so much that every day just goes by so quick.
We always talk about, we think the baseball postseason might be the hardest one to win, or
Yeah.
one of the 1 or 2 hardest ones to win in college sports. Why is baseball tournament play so challenging?
I think it's more so just the game itself. I mean, obviously the formatting is tough, but I mean, baseball is one of those sports. It's like any given day that you can just like drop the ball and you can get beat. Whereas like, I mean, basketball, you can certainly get beat every day, but if you in basketball, you kind of just out athlete the other team, I think, to an extent. But baseball, it's definitely like you can't bleed the clock. You got to play all 27 outs, like Coach Forbes says. And I think like you can run into a team that maybe didn't have the greatest postseason or regular season, but they got one arm that's shut down. So if you run into that team, their bats get hot. I mean, I think it's really any given day, really. But like I said, if you run into like a buzzsaw arm or something like that, that's where the parity can come in.